Well, good morning there, or good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. Hope all is well on y'all's end. Let's go ahead and ease on out of that playlist. It's a really cool playlist, but got a feeling it's probably AI. It's all AI, man. It's everywhere. Wonder how they did those mixes before. I think they just kind of lifted them off of other people and sped them up or slowed them down to avoid copyrights. But who's to say, who's to know? Oh yeah, I got it set to mute when I tab out. That's all right though. That's all right. We'll deal with that as we come. Tonight we will be continuing with the adventures of Bannerlord Livestream. He is on day, I don't know, day 204, level 15. Looking pretty snazzy, but we could probably look snazzier if we put our minds to it. I don't think we've purchased any armor. This is all pure loot, baby. Paid for by blood. What was the Ironborn saying? You know, did you buy it or did you pay the iron price? We definitely paid the iron price. When last we left off, I believe we had a huge victory. Defeating an army 3 times our size, if memory serves. And then, sadly, the general of that army had a husband that was right behind her, and he was able to engage us because they are too fast. Way too fast. Why are the Battanians able to sail so gosh dog fast? I don't know. But either way, we got to make it to a city and do repairs, and maybe sell some boats. Let's go to Havlek, I guess. That is the closest culturally Nord town. I guess technically Grady's Ford is, but I think Havlek's also got the best prices on tusks. Now, that's not very special if I can only buy like 4 tusks at a time, but we'll see how that goes. Jaldar has gained a point in Shipmaster. We need a lot of Shipmaster, actually. I always want to hit that because that's what it is on Warband. Alright, so we've got a 30, but I believe our clan members probably have more. It's the best way to look at that. This way, probably, right? 16, 13, 8. Alright, so we're the Shipmaster. We're actually everything right now. We should probably switch it off to... Like, she would make a good steward and doctor, but then we wouldn't... and trader. She's actually better at everything other than combat skills. That guy's pretty good at stuff. I feel like your companions kind of start out too low of level unless they've changed that a little bit. Did Alda become of age? Or is this just what they do when they're getting close to becoming of age? Don't know. So let's make her our doctor and steward. Let's just make her everything, right? But then we won't level up. That's the only sad part. We'll just level our guy up. Alright, let's vote for a new owner of a castle. I don't want the castle. I would rather this guy have it. Very sad. We've got cajoling. Alright, what castle did they give me? Some shithole, I'm assuming. Alright, who are we at war with? We're at war with these guys. Did we just take a castle from these guys? Negative. Alright, let's go to clan. Let's go to feast. Let's go to this place. What is their culture? Don't know. Oh, is this the crappy castle that we lost? And then this guy was the, we made him the governor because it's a Kuze culture and he was Kuze. We'll just repeat that over and over again. That's cool. I can send my clan members to this castle. How cool is that? Without actually having to go do it. Pretty nifty. Yeah, same crappy castle. They'll keep fighting over it, they'll keep winning and losing it, and they'll keep giving it to us because we don't have a fief other than that crappy thing. It's good for us, though, because then we can use our influence to gain relations with the lords. Because our main goal is to just become King of the Nords. The King in the North! The King in the North. I feel like the music just got really loud for some reason. And we got the music at 40? Holy crap. Can't imagine what that's like at 100. Warband was like that. You had to turn the music down to like 5. So we are undermanned. That is hurting us. We should have recruited somebody. Only got 22 guys, so this is actually really stupid. Because if we run into... What is that? Oh, is that my clicky thing? Okay, that's my clicky thing. If we run into Sea Raiders, they'll be able to catch us. And we're out of money. Which means more people are going to desert. 12 troops have deserted the garrison. Oh, that's the castle. That's no big deal. No big deal at all. Let me make sure that's okay. All right, all that's looking good. Let's get that up so I don't forget stuff. OBS has been acting funky tonight. Uh-oh, my castle's being besieged. I just got that castle. I think what we're going to do, as long as I can buy wood here in this island, is we're going to sit here and level up all the things. Smithing, combat. We're just going to chill on this island and get rich. I'd like to take Havlac back. That'll be our campaign message. The return of Havlac to the Nords. What do we have here? Bearing a peace offer from the Khuzaits has arrived. Well, that means we'll actually be able to keep our... yeah, we can... Yeah, peace is good. 20. Thank you. They moved influence. Keeps throwing me off. I guess where ship percentages or whatever. Fleet condition. That's where this used to be. Keeps throwing me off. Muscle memory, man. It's difficult to... Alright, so we need to make money. So we've got 3 ships. Alright, let's sell that one. 2,600, 3,000. See where there he is. 37. That one's got a lot of mods. This one's got more mods. It can hold more cargo. I think Silver Witch is my ship, right? That's like my combat ship. Sell that thing. Did I lose a ship? Because I could have swore I had 3 ships. I think I lost a ship, but that's okay. We should repair this as well, by the way. Alright, repair all, yes. Perfect. So why can't I do this? Not available in settlement. Alright, so different settlements have different upgrades. Heavy storm cover. +2 quivers, throwing weapon stacks. That's actually really good, but we don't have a ton of money right now. We definitely want the sails. Not available in this settlement. Wonder if there's a way to look at a settlement and what they're capable of doing. Definitely want this thing. Not unlocked. Oh, gotta unlock it. Probably through achievements of some kind, probably, right? Best ones are hidden behind. Missions or something. Quick coughing attack. So we definitely want Drakkar, but they're expensive. And I don't think our enemies are going to have Drakkars because that looks like a Nord kind of ship, but maybe our enemies will defeat a Nord and take their Drakkar, and then we can take it from them kind of thing. Because if you can have 8 of these, that's, yeah, that's like 800 and, I don't know, 56, 60 men. A Bride of Chaos. That's a great name for a Nar. I think a Nar is like your classic Viking vessel. Light long ship. Long ship medium. Oh, I see what's happening here. Alright, we're not going to worry about that right now. We want to smelt that. Let's see. Legendary fish harpoon. Wow. That's a really good missile speed. 96. 110. You want this, brother? I think he does. 75 cut. Nah, we're going to give him a... Give him that. There you go. Hey, you finally got a helmet, brother. Good for you. Poor guy's been running around with that helmet for Coon's age. Ooh, that's good. Nice. We have neglected our dear brother, which makes me very sad. That might be a good one for Bannerlord. Nah, it's not good. Bannerlord's got good shoes. We've got the Golden Paladin entering the arena. Hail and welcome, Calculate. How you doing, brother? Watched my first Christmas movie of the season. It was one I've never seen before. It was called The Bishop's Wife. Pretty good, but weird. It's a weird one. Basically about this angel helping a guy out, but while he was helping him out, he was sort of cucking him with his wife. Had a... Was it Clark Gable or whatever his name is? Actually, I don't think it's Clark Gable. Let me double check that. I get my hot guys from 100 years ago mixed up sometimes. I think I get everybody from 100 years ago mixed up sometimes. Is it Clark Gable? Nah, Clark Gable's older than the guy I'm talking about. This was Cary Grant. I've always gotten Cary Grant and Clark Gable confused because they have the same initials. Cary Grant. I think he's better. I think stylistically, Cary Grant had the best style of anybody. Close second, Paul Newman. If I could wear those clothing, like pay a tailor to make my clothes, I'd be like, make me look like Cary Grant circa like 1959, man. There's probably like a great article about that, right? So Cary Grant. Cary Grant's fashion, I guess we'll call it. It was so casual, but a casual in a very slick style. Not like today where everybody's wearing hoodies and, you know, what do they call it? Casual athletic style. People wear that stuff to church and weddings. It's crazy. The Gentleman's Gazette. Cary Grant, style, secrets, and how to dress like him. Ooh, we're going to watch that later. Nice. I only take fashion tips from gay men and women that look like $1 million, but they also look like they're massively in debt to pay for all their fashion. Those are the only two kinds of people I will listen to when it comes to fashion. So I've never actually done the campaign story. I've been doing it this time, and I'm at the point where they're randomly throwing missions at me on opposite sides of the world. I know. I did it once, and that was enough for me, but I guess we're going to do it again. Actually, I don't know if we're going to do it. I don't really enjoy it. Wasn't Cary Grant always wearing suits? Not in his movies for sure. But if you look at him and the way he dresses, a lot of like sweaters and slacks. But like those slacks that were, they look like they would be baggy, but they fit him perfectly. And it was more like they hung on him. To where when we were kids, the fashion was that ultra baggy, which I always hated. Like people used to make fun of me for having skinny pants. And then if I see a picture from myself when I was in high school, my pants were baggy as hell. They were way too baggy. But everybody else was wearing like clownish sized pants and stuff and shirts and all that stuff. But if you type in Cary Grant, like candid shots or him just kind of like traveling around being interviewed, yeah, a lot of collared shirts under a sweater. I just bought some jockey undershirts. I was trying to be like health conscious, or not health conscious, but nature conscious because it uses like recycled material and stuff, and but it's very itchy. So mistakes were made with that. I think I'm gonna stick with my Amazon t-shirts. I buy the same kind of Amazon t-shirt every time. Yeah. Plus, I'm a hermit, so I don't really need fashion. I'm just talking, what ifs here. He was just a good-looking dude. I don't know why I'm sitting here crushing on Cary Grant, but I really enjoyed that movie. Or I enjoyed the performances in the movie. The actual movie itself was a little weird. Now that you mention it, I do remember the sweater and slacks Grant. Oh yeah, and then scarves. He had these like long, probably cashmere scarves that he could just wrap around and let slinking off. He was a cool cat, man. Like in a land of cool cats, he was like the coolest, or one of the coolest. But it all depends on what old movie I've seen recently. Usually the last one that I've seen, if I really liked it, I start, fanboying out over the actors involved. It's really weird is when I watch an old movie, like think like Betty Davis, 1939 or something, and the character's either funny or cool or sexy or whatever, and then you kind of get a crush on this actor that's long dead. They were old when you were born. That's a weird thing, man. All right, your wife is in good shape. She needs like a shield and stuff. We'll let you a shield. I don't feel like buying shields. We're very broke. You do need something on your shoulders, though. Let's give you the best shoulders we got. Something smelly and stinky. Oh, Alda's in our party. Wow. I hope she doesn't die. That'd make me very sad. Can you throw weapons, madam? I think I already sold that, didn't I? Yeah, should have done all this. Because this is smart to kit them up, because the more damage they take, the more likely they will be to die, I believe. I think these slings are powerful. I think I should probably kit my people out with those. But there's no skill attached to a sling. It might be attached to throwing. I don't know. I was always a fan of older movies with the fast patter dialogue. Yeah, the fast cadence of the dialogue mixed with that the mid-Atlantic accent, which was a completely fictitious accent that was invented by Hollywood speech coaches to make people sound more aristocratic. I think there was a true push to give like Americans, well-to-do Americans, like an aristocratic flair to compete against like how they perceive the royals of Europe and stuff. I mean, shit, Hollywood people are way cooler than any royal I can think of, man. It takes generations to get a cool royal. Ugh. Baylor gained a level. Nice. All right, let's level up our... I'm thinking about going full intelligence from here on out. I feel like I'm already able to fight. Like, once I can win tournaments, who really gives a shit, right? And then I want Shipmaster maxed out. Social would be cool too. Let's just do int. And then, oh, we probably should have done cunning. Yeah, let's do that. Scouting. A little bit of cunning just for scouting. Tactics would be good. Because once you get tactics up, you don't even have to fight battles anymore. You can just auto, simulate the battle and win every battle. You'd have to be outnumbered by quite a bit if this was maxed out. I wanted enough end and control to be able to max athletics and throwing. Like max, like 300. Because to get to, or I guess 275, right? Because to get to 300, you need like 10 and 10, right? I remember looking at the graph to where it would tell you like how much attribute points and focus points you need to get to, which skills. Not sure if it's still around, but there's a website to where you can just build your character out there. So you know that you had all of the in-game skills that you wanted. I don't put too much thought into it, man. I just kind of focus on things that I like and then move on. I have 8 endurance and 5 focus. The max is 302. Oh, nice. Oh, I saw like a YouTube short that said that they nerfed the speeds of Bannerlord, and that's why everything felt sluggish to me. Like, they said in 1.3 they slowed everything way down. And all the mods that I played, they all require like 1.2 or earlier. So that's why I just felt like everything was so slow. At first I'm like, well, maybe it's just because I'm a low level, but no. Everything's just slow. Like it's hard to maintain a 4. So, walrus tusk, grain, whale oil, and fish. We should try to buy a shop here. Or no, we'll lose it if we go to war with whatchamahooza here. Let's go on a recruiting run and try to get a full crew going. These guys are recruiting the hell out of this place. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So the walrus tusk market is very volatile. Because when I was here first, it was like 40 or 50, and now it's back to 224, which is like where it is everywhere else up here. Yeah, we could still make a profit, but not much of one. Man, we're losing all of our foods. We don't have any. Let's buy all the butter. Buy some cheese. We don't even have any fish. We should be able to fish, but I guess that's a perk of some kind. I heard they slowed map speed some, but even combat speed seems slower with 300. I think combat everything is slower. Like when I was in the tournaments, I felt like the enemies weren't moving as fast. And it was much easier for me to parry them than what I remember. And it's not my skill. My skill is really bad. It's just like there was more time to see it coming. Because before old Bannerlord, dude, you had to have a hell of a reaction to be able to parry. Because the bad guys, especially the tournament champion types, the ones that travel around all the tournaments, they were like ultra fast. And then if you fought somebody like a Caladog or whatever, those guys were just ballers. And you had to find like a cheesy way to get them, whether it was shield bash or whatever, or just have really good, weapons and stuff. Yeah, I felt like everything has been slowed down some. Are you still on your first playthrough of War Sales, or did you start a new game for the story? What the hell, man? There's nobody here. You said you weren't going to join the kingdom, right? You're going to stay a mercenary, or did you end up joining one? So it looks like we're going to be able to keep this castle for a while because we made peace with the Khuzaits. Khuzait, Khergit, that's it. I always confuse Khergit with Khuzait. Khergit was the warband faction, but in this one they're just a clan. They have a cool story involved. You know what? It's good that you're playing the story because I remember enjoying learning the lore of warband. You know, more so than the actual like running around and having to like talk to people and stuff. The only huge bummer was the time frame because when I was doing my Agorius the Glorious playthrough, we ran out of time. I guess there was only like 10,000 days, and we were on like day 999, and I was trying to quickly create. You had to like create your own kingdom by that time or something. And so we fought for a castle, and then as we were losing that castle, I just decided to make it the last battle of that playthrough because I wasn't gonna be able to complete the story. I shouldn't fight these guys because they're even if we win, we'll probably lose people, but so we got all the archers there. Got this. Alright, I'm gonna distract him a little bit.
Get moving!
25 Sea Raiders is quite a bit. My main goal is to get them to expend their missiles. They've also made the AI way better at hitting side moving targets. See, look at that. Before I could just like... I would never get hit as long as I was moving at them like this. I guess now you just gotta be far away.
Everyone, command is yours!
Is that a bad guy? No. Alright. Nice throw, or whatever the heck that was. But I guess the cool thing is your guys are better at all that too, you know? Yeah, it's got a cool face paint. Whee! You running from me? Yeah, I'd probably run too. Jesus, these Zax are terrible. On mounts. They're great in sea battle. Same one, but it's kind of turned into a regular Bannerlord. If I can recommend anything, it's stay on the water longer and enjoy the ships. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into the grind of the fiefs. I'm not into the grind of the kingdoms. If they want to like vote me king of the Nords, great. But I'm not gonna push for it. Oh, yeah, I've just got Sky Gods chosen. I wonder if it's because high tier guys, you know, they don't mutiny as much. Kind of makes sense, right? Where does it tell you how much they get paid? Is it that right there? Wage, yeah. So they're only getting paid 12. I guess that's a lot though, like 12 gold coins a day. But I think a day kind of simulates, what did I calculate it out to? I don't know, like every day is almost like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. No mood for mercy. It was a hard-fought battle, and among your fallen is a young, good-natured Nord, sky god's chosen, who kept his comrades speared up during hard times. Those guys are worth their weight in gold when shit ain't going right. I don't mean in war, I just mean like in general, like on a bad job site or a bad day or whatever. When you got that person who just kind of walks in with a smile on their face and rosy red cheeks and they're like, oh man, this sucks, right? Anyway, you want some cocoa? Those guys, love them. Kiss them on the mouth, I love them so much. Your men's faces are grim as they go out to collect the wounded of both sides. You can tell that, if they have their way, not many injured enemies are... Oh, did the guy die? Is that what happened? Wait, what? Oh, among the fallen, the good-natured. Alright, yeah, that would suck. Alright, if they have their way... Alright, so demand that your men respect the customs of war and tend to those who gave quarter. Increase reputation... decrease morale by 15. Remind your men that war is war. The Nord Sky God's chosen. That is a bad... I love that name. I want to create a 40... Oh, dude, I'm going to buy a 40k model paint set. It comes with 3 Space Marines, blueberries, of course, Ultramarines forever, and then some paint and a brush, and I'm going to paint them. I hope I don't get addicted because it seems like a very expensive hobby. But one of the people I used to fly an Eve with, he streams it sometimes, and it looks so relaxing. And he's a very relaxed guy. You know, he was a politician in real life, you know, living in DC and stuff. Brisk Rubal. But I think he's like semi-retired now in his late 40s. He looks like he's 55 or 60, but he's in his late 40s. And he was doing it. I'm like, you know what? I could probably get into this. All right. Increase reputation, decrease morale by 5. Tell your men that they can avenge their comrade as they see fit. We're going to go with the first one. We're going to lose a lot of morale, but that's the one I want to go with because we're trying to be a good guy. Now, you got to be careful being a good guy because look at what happened to Jon Snow. Like, purely morally speaking, Jon Snow was always making the right choices. But what happened? Yeah, that's what happens to good men. That's what I think happens in real life. You know, like when people go to DC and they've got all these things that they want to do. You know, they want to like help out the everyday man and fix healthcare and all this stuff. And then they get into the machine and they realize that they're not even a cog. You know, they're just like a tooth on one little cog. And then they get grinded down. And then they just kind of like, you know, all they care about is their own comfort, with their own family's comfort after a decade. I think that's what happens. I joined the Nord, but between the main story, chasing around the world and random wars, I don't feel like I can do as I please. Yeah, I think Mercenary is the best way to go, honestly. That's always my favorite. Even in Warband, I liked it, even when it was a mod that didn't pay well. The best was Prophecy of Pendor, because Prophecy of Pendor always covered your wages and then some. So you could have an army of like 300, you know, grand adventurers, whatever the most expensive troop was, and it would cover that and then pay you well. And you could just run around with your fucking OP army doing whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted. It's the perfect ADHD profession for Mount Blade. It's relaxing or frustrating. I couldn't be bothered to paint figurines for any of the tabletop games I play. See, that's the thing, is I don't play tabletop games. I just kind of want the models. Here, let me show you what I was thinking about getting. It's only $35, right? But the risk is that I want to do more, right? That's the risk. I was going to get the Infernus blueberries. It's just a set, right? It comes with the colors that you need to paint the blueberries. You know, the gold, the blue, and all that. And then a cool little paintbrush, which is cool. And that's just the official Warhammer set. I figured Brisker, the guy I was watching do it, who plays Eve, that's where I know him from, but he paints, you know, figurines every now and again, or I guess once a week. But he recommended me to do that and then to go to this other site for metallics. He says for like metallics, you know, like gold, silver, bronze, that kind of stuff, shiny stuff. There's this Pro Acryl that I got. So I'm probably going to buy some stuff from Pro Acryl. And then maybe some brushes if I dig it. I'm not going to do it now because I'm really, you know, broke at this point after buying stuff for Christmas. And, yeah, I'm just, you know, a very poor guy. So that's all good. No, to it, Raw. You will just want more. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. How you doing, Sidicus 5x5? Halen, welcome. Boop. Not played a tabletop game in forever. Yeah, I've never been, not since I was a little dude, when we were making our own tabletops, have I really been into it. And I never got into like the 40Ks. In the aughts, when my nephew was a young kid, we would go to the comic book shop when he was down here visiting, and we would get like a Star Wars tabletop game. You know, they had one that was that centered around the fighters. It was called like X-Wing or whatever. So he got a big box full of these figures. You didn't have to paint them or anything. So this was more, I guess, it was like a board game, but not. It was just, you know, a tabletop game you didn't have to paint. And then it had a galaxy map with the, you know, octagons and everything. And then we learned how to play that. It was a cool game. It had like a laser pointer that would basically, I don't remember exactly how you use the laser pointer, but almost like if you were using a laser level kind of thing. I don't know. This was a very long time ago. Ooh, we got a peasant. Nice. But that was fun. And then they love board games. My sister's family, who lives in another state, you know, they have, because they all live close enough to where they can walk to each other's houses, you know, and there's a lot of them. So they do board game nights, and then all the guys my niece is married like board games and family and stuff, and now they're having their own, or one of them is having their own kids. So that's super cool. So they play like, they always have like new card games and board games to play. Like what's their favorite is like the something of Panzance or something like that. I don't know. We never played that one. But that's her favorite board game. What the hell's the name of that board game? Something of Panzance. Alright, so we got a herding and we got cargo and then prisoners. Alright. Oh, you know what? How much leadership do I need for the Veterans Respect? I always forget about Veterans Respect until it's too late. So we need 150. Oh, man. That's social. So I should probably pump that, huh? Because you can't use a companion's Veteran Respect, right? If they're in your party. If you just enjoy the painting, you could always sell the completed ones for a cost to feed your habit. Yeah, let's see how much a blueberry costs on eBay. Or I guess Etsy. Painted 40K Ultramarines. For sale. How to paint. All right, 40K commission Ultramarines, so you can commission them to be done. That's interesting. Wow, $315. That's for one of them big boys. That's what is that? Robert Gilliman or Rabute Gilliman. They always make fun of his name. They always call him something else. Large Warhammer 40K Army commission painted. So that guy charges 173. That's probably just like a basic paint job. I would never pay anybody to do that. That's like the fun of it, right? Yeah, I guess you could always buy used, right? But I figure 35 bucks. That's for 3 models. They look cool. And the blueberries are pretty easy to paint overall, I would think, relative to some of the other ones. Like when you see some of the orcs and chaos, you're just like, holy shit, man. You got guys breaking out airbrushes and magnifying glasses and all that. We've got Mr. Hef in chat. Everybody hail and welcome the wondrous Mr. Hef. Bum, ba, bum, boop. How's that video going from Prophecy of Pendor? He edited down a 4-hour video into like 3, what'd you say, 1 minute? That's a lot of edits, man. If I'm able to like do a highlight that's like 5 minutes or less, I consider that a job well done. Or a clip. My problem is remembering where the good stuff was. Like, you really have to use bookmarks to remember like cool stuff. Because I was going back and watching some old things that I made, and I'm like, oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. That was kind of funny. And then other times there's things I you found funny at the time, but then you go back and you're like, yeah, it's not as funny as I thought it was. And then the reverse happens all the time, but the problem is you don't catch those ones because you didn't highlight them or whatever. The other thing is I'm not one of those people that puts on fake energy, like most streamers do. Biggest issue is relearning how to edit. I'm using new equipment and editing software. That's the most difficult thing with editing, is learning the software. So because all of your creative juices are going to learning the software. So you're not able to make like those Hollywood decisions of like the cinematic zoom or the cut pause for comedic effect, all those kind of ideas kind of go the way of the dodo, because I'm like, what's my hotkey to do this? Why does the editing software make the most basic thing so gosh dang complicated? Like a zoom. A zoom should be very easy to do, but they make, like, I use DaVinci, and it's like you have to go through all these menu and clips and shit and fucking do it, and then none of it's intuitive. It's like AI, coded the user interface. It's crazy, man. Crazy, I tell you. They never make it simple, that's for sure. The ones that do make it simple are like the social media shit. Like Microsoft has one that I use to do like quick clips, like on the fly. It's called Clip Champ, I think. It only does like 30 FPS though. But if I just want to throw something quick out there, like if I want to post it to Discord so my buddies can see what happened that I'm playing with or whatever, I use Clip Champ because it's super fast. And then you kind of want it to be 30 FPS so you can, link it to Discord so you don't have to bother uploading it to YouTube or whatever. But a lot of times I have to upload it to YouTube anyway and unlist it and then link that to the Discord, because Discord puts like really low limitations on what you can upload, gigabyte wise. Have you gotten into war sales? Or no, I don't think Hef plays Bannerlord at all. Now we're talking. Man, we want all the Huskarls. 51, 18. So you got a spear. Got the shield. Huskar rune sword does 71. Yeah, those guys are going to be gnarly as shit. Hardwood's expensive here. It's not 4 minutes. Well, congratulations. You're doing good. I made a 3-hour video doing tutorial and stuff. You made a 3-hour video doing tutorials, like on how to play Warband or something else. But I don't think I'll ever post it. A 3-hour video doing the tutorial and stuff. Oh, you mean the Bannerlord tutorial and stuff. Copy. I'm with you. Yeah, I've got a ton of stuff I've never released, but nothing... I've never made a video like what you and some of the Warbanders I would watch back in the day would do. Like full-blown, edited, cinematic videos, telling a story. Alright, do you want to resolve the make peace? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll give you 20. Get some relations. The hell was that name? Throsny? It's a weird name. Wonder if there's any workshop. I wonder if there's a new workshop linked to whale oil. Alright, who has Curious Smelter? Anybody? Alright, Farzana does. And Galeric does. Let's do Farzana. Perfect. Let's get Baylor on the charcoal. That's what he loves to do. Now let's try to do some axes, two-handed. Hey, you got a new head. Nice. 84, 71. Alright, that's a good head. What does that want? Steel. Alright, let's make the best one we can here. So, alright, 104 is the most damage. Weapon reach is 112, swing speed is 87. We have 100. Alright, that's the one we're going with. 107, we'll do 100. Let's see, what's the reach on that? 117, that's pretty good. Nice. Handling, 74, 75. You know, the best handling is just like carving a pommel on the thing. That's so funny. We don't have to spend metal on that. No, doing the war sale tutorial. Oh, yeah. Like a 3-hour edited one or just raw live stream? Or I guess it would just be you playing on your own, right? Recording. See, I've never done that. I've never played a game off stream and then go and edit it down. Because then you could really do it, right? Because then you could be thinking completely on that, not like interacting with chat. And then you could make sure that you get the shots that you need to tell a story of some kind. Yeah. Make sure you do all that. But that's the thing is I'm not really a YouTuber. You know, I'm not a video maker. I'm a live streamer, I guess. A bad one. A bad live streamer. I don't know. Just started experimenting with workshops. I have 3 and they're producing around 350. 350 is better than what it was before. Before you would start out and it could be making like 400 or 500 or more maybe. And then all of a sudden it would just go to 0. Like when I was playing Shakuho, all my workshops sucked. They would all be like less than 100 or 0, most times 0. The only way I could get them to produce is I had to feed them the raw materials. Even when I'm doing everything right, you know, like I'm getting the workshops that, you know, the villages for that town should be feeding them those raw materials. But I think it's just because the trade is so real, as in like, you know, if caravans are getting attacked all the time in an area because, you know, it's got that broken spawn rate of bandits, you know, where no caravan gets through. Caravans aren't smart enough to bypass, you know, the death stack of bandits. So like that town doesn't get whatever resources are coming from that direction. You know, that can mess everything up. All right, that one's pretty good. We're going to call this Raw Axe. Why can't I do any more? Oh, it's because you're dead. Okay, you're out of juice. Let's go with Gaelric. Nope, we unlocked one. Nice. All right, let's go to that one. Nice. Look at that bad boy. Definitely unlocking all the stupid pommels that don't do anything except make the thing worse. Yeah, don't put a pommel on your two-handed axe, guys. Pro tip from me to you. Don't do it. Oh, we got a new one. Nice. What was that one? 110. Oh, that one's worse in every way. We'll be doing that one. Oh, the cool thing about this one is it doesn't take steel. It's like a proper iron axe. But it's good to play around like that. It's kind of like those people that say that they'll never release the first novel they wrote because they kind of know it's bad. It's like Louis C.K., my favorite comedian, or favorite living comedian. He just wrote a book. It's just a novel, and it's about a little extremely poor boy and his adventures. I just started listening to it. It reads like a first novel. Like, I laughed once out loud, but that makes sense. You know, he's my favorite comedian, but it's not a funny book. You know, it's a very sad book. But you can tell that he's making the mistakes that first-time novelists make. You know, not that I could do any better. I just know what it reads like. And I bet you he probably had a good editor or whatever, and they got the best out of it that they could, but he probably shouldn't have published that book. But his dream was always to be a novelist, but comedy kind of took off for him, and it was easier for him to do than trying to be a book writer, I guess, 40 years ago. But most really good novelists say that they might have written like one or two novels before they ever published anything. And then they always think that, well, maybe I'll go back and fix that novel. But then they go back and they're like, no, just the foundation of the novel is kind of lacking or whatever. I don't like how I have to type my name in every time. It's weird. But that'll be like your video. It's just good practice. All right, now what do we have here? 142. Now we're smoking with gas here. Ooh. We want to unlock these beauties. I don't think in real life you would ever want to make an axe that look like that. It'd be way more likely to break. You get a good hit with it, kind of like a golf club, like a hollowed out composite golf club. But it'd be way more likely to break. But you know what? It might be easier to fix too, I guess. I don't know. I have to look this up because I've never seen an axe that looked like this in real historical stuff. All right, so what do we need? We need 2 of those. And so we need somebody who can make steel. All right, you can make fine steel, but you can't make regular steel. Who can make a regular steel? I think. Hell yeah. Hail and welcome, Death Dealer. Double D himself. Boop. Good evening, sir. The new Nord Attiger is in polearms. It can be switched between one-handed and two-handed. So that's a good, proper bastard weapon, huh? All right, so let's go to Forge. Let's go to this. Yeah, I forgot polearms could also have the axe heads. You're talking about the, I called it the Nord Glaive, I think, last time I played. It's around, I think it's a 4. There it is, right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this was badass. Somebody was using it in a tournament. The problem with that is it doesn't synergize with my two-handed skill. I'd have to get polearm skill. I don't have polearm skill. Only takes 2 fine steel, though. What was my axe taking? 2 and 2. That's fine. Let's make one more of these bad boys. Oh wow, that's not... This is actually not bad. It's pretty fast, 92. It's not very, Yeah, I'll go with that one. I'll just have to compensate for the speed. We're getting there. We are getting there. This one's pretty good. Looks cool too. I'll have to make one of these. We've reached the maximum smithing skill of a Galric, or as we like to call him, our Gendry. You really need a different sound effect for making charcoal. It should just be like a fire sparking noise or something. Not the ting 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 ting. It's basically an axe, but he uses the polearm skill. Yeah, for sure. I usually would always go polearm and Bannerlord, for the glaive and everything. But the cool thing with the axe is you get cleave, but I think you use a mod that makes everything cleave, right? If you have that mod, then I guess it doesn't matter, but usually the swords were the fastest, but they did like the least damage. Axes were kind of in the middle, but they damaged shields more and they had cleave. Glaives just had a tremendous amount of damage and a pretty good amount of speed and range and everything, so overall they were my favorite. Yeah. And then blunt weapons just kind of sucked in Bannerlord all the way around. I don't even think you could make a proper warhammer. I mean, I played mods a lot. Like Realm of Thrones, you could make Robert Baratheon's warhammer, which was my weapon when I was a dragon guy. I was a dragon knight with a warhammer. It was fun. Snotnose needs weapons. I don't feel like giving her weapons right now. Kind of want to smelt these, but... Uh-oh, we got ads. Alright guys, I'm going to play my 3 minutes of ads so we don't get them while we're having fun, and I'll see you cats in 3 minutes. Alright. And the ads are still going. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I vaguely recall the two-handed maces being really slow. Yeah, they were slow and they didn't hit very hard. You know, so like I still used them. Like my cheese lord, I'd run around with that comically long, wooden hammer and just bonk people on the head. I just thought it was funny. Once you skill up, you can still like one-shot, people. But yeah, because I love blunt weapons. It's just didn't really work. Thank you, Death Dealer. Let's go ahead and pause that and then get this going. And then we are good to go. All right. Let's go ahead and give a cool weapon to... What is that? That's pretty good. Firesness got 80 cut. That's pretty good. You've got 71 cut. Let you have that. That's pretty shitty. So is that, to be honest with you. I was running around with this shitty weapon. You could use that. I don't think I'm going to give my companions a two-hander. One of the axes might be a bastard too. I just got to get the right shaft. That's what she said. Alright, so we've got 20k. We can sell all that. Or we could just refine it. Yeah, I'll probably just refine it. 20k is good for now. Why does it say my fleet is at 70% when I just repaired everything? Does it take damage when it's in port? I already did this. I have to do it again. That would suck if it takes damage, because we weren't gone that long. I hope that was just a snafu on my end. That loyalty's really bad. Oh, that's because foreigners are in control. Makes sense. So we can have 54 guys. Let's go ahead and get a full party of badasses before we take off. No, we just started playing a couple minutes before you got here. So we had 3 boats, but I guess somebody stole a boat and ran off because our morale was low. Or something happened to her. By the time we got to port, we only had 2 boats. So I sold 1 boat for 10 grand. And then I kept our original boat. I don't know what happened to the 3rd one. You lost 1 boat when you had to run from the noble party. Oh, did I leave 1 boat behind? Oh, no, I know. Yeah, the try to escape option. Right, that makes sense. That makes total sense. but it was worth it. We would have lost everything if we didn't do that. Alright, this place sucks, man. Let's go to the main peninsula. Can't recruit here. You quit doing that roll. At least we're not undermanned anymore. That's good. Let's head to Thronderlag. I believe that's the clan of the Lady Love that Balor wants to marry. Did you guys see the 40K Total War game? I think I might actually grab that one. I don't know if I'll grab it day one, but you know, I've kind of wanted to try to get back into RTS, and I think a modern one might do it. But I'm not a big Warhammer guy. I like 40K, but I'm not a big Warhammer guy. I like my fantasy low fantasy. I think that's why I like sci-fi fantasy, because it's usually low fantasy mixed with, you know, a little bit of sci-fi. I prefer my magic to have some kind of like technological reasoning for it, even if it's bullshit. Sounds better to my ears. You know what? How lucky are we, man? I can remember years ago playing like Sid Meier's Pirates or something like that. Thinking about what kind of games we're going to get in the future, and this is it, man. What about some Pornhammer with a capital P? I don't think I could get into Pornhammer. I think the lore of 40K and Warhammer is enough pornography for you. I can't imagine what the actual like Rule 34 is. If you ever read about like Slanesh and the stuff those guys get up to, that's not for me, man. I don't kink shit. Not in my chat. But holy smokes, man. Make your toes curl. Yuck. Are you into 40K more or Warhammer more? I think you're into Warhammer more, correct? Double D? Probably. Let's just go on a recruiting run. Let's get up to 54 basses. I want the kind of war band lords drool over. Like, that's a nice war band you got there. Be a shame if somebody was to hire you to fight a war for them. The other cool thing about the Nords is it doesn't matter who I recruit. Freeman or Lord, I'm going to get a badass. I'm going to get God's Chosen, or I'm going to get flippin' Huskarl. Win-win, right? Win, flippin' win. Why did it do that? What can I turn you into? Sturgian. I don't want Sturgian. E-Raider Warrior. Barog Veteran. Oh, I can turn you guys into flippin' Berserkers, huh? That's pretty cool. But I need Veterans Respect, and I gotta... Alright, we're gonna have to pump... We're gonna have to pump enough focus and attributes to get Veterans Respect. Cause that... Well, do we, though? Do we? There's plenty of villages and towns. It's gonna suck if we're like fighting the Aserai or whatever. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna go anywhere I don't want to go. Like wherever because that's what the real lords did in real history, right? They did not want to leave their power base. It was dangerous because they didn't have any power to help feed their army or whatever they needed. And then while they were away, somebody could attack their power base. You know, who the hell wants that? That's why it was so difficult to get powerful lords to go fight the Crusades, for example. Only the ultra powerful lords would do that. Or, you know, like basically hedge knights, guys that, you know, like third, fourth sons that weren't going to inherit anything. So they'd go find their wealth in the Holy Land. Just sent you a whisper. What are you hitting on me in the slipping into my DMs, Double D? Oh, you naughty boy, you. Not look at it while on stream. Oh, I never show DMs on stream, brother. I don't show anything on stream when it comes to like Discord, DMs, none of that stuff. Unless you want me to, you know, and then just post it in like general chat in my Discord or whatever. You know, like Cuculane showed us his wife's super cool ancient Greek coin necklace that he bought her 15 years ago. Or was that? Was that under general or... Nah, it wasn't general. Maybe history and yore? History and yore is a cool chat you guys don't utilize enough. I like to post historical stuff in there. So if you're ever like watching a video and it shows you something cool and you're like, I don't think everybody knows about this cool thing. Go find an HD image, post it up there, and then copy paste a summary or type your own little summary or whatever. Like there was a picture from, I got it on Twitter, 1955 Christmas in London. It's just this Santa Claus. It looks very cool. I love this picture. It's great. Perfectly framed. It's got everything, right? It's got the ornaments. It's got backgrounds. I love that picture. Where is that? Mountain Blade, maybe? Yeah, it was under Mountain Blade. But yeah, stuff like this, man. Because we were talking about coinage and how I used to like to collect coins. Yeah, that's cool. For Athens. I think that's what AOE stands for, right? It's like Athens. Before I butcher that, let me Google it. Athens AOE. Alpha, Theta, Epsilon of the Athenians. That's right. I knew it was Athens something to do with Athens or Athenians of the Athenians. I love that Alpha, Theta, Epsilon. I like ours too. Alpha, Tango, Echo. We used to use that though back in the day. We used to use like Theta, Epsilon. Like the military alphabets changed quite a bit in the last like 100 years. Like even from like World War I to World War II it changed. And from World War II it's changed quite a bit too. Yeah. No, it's a whisper here on Twitch. It's a link to a mod I'm using. Oh, copy that, brother. I never said it was ancient. I'm pretty sure it's a... Oh, yeah. My bad. I just said that. I didn't know one way or the other. The ancient ones probably aren't that much more if it's made out of, you know, silver or whatever. But like I've seen on eBay where you can buy ones that look basically like that, and they're not silver. They're just a metal alloy of whatever. You know, it's probably like, I don't know. There's probably like lead in it or something. That's the other thing is I probably wouldn't want to wear one because you would leach. You don't want to wear anything with lead in it. It's kind of like those cups. Like last year, my sister-in-law got me a Darth Vader coffee cup, 16 ounces. You know, it says Mary Sithmas on it. It's very cute. And I've been drinking tea out of it. But then I was like, wait a minute, man. Don't Chinese cups a lot of times have lead in them? And I'm like, ugh. I saw a guy on YouTube one time. He had a lead testing kit and a light and everything. And he was just showing you. He was at like Target or something. And he was showing you all the ones that had more lead than you should ever have, you know, and all this stuff. So the FDA needs to get in on that. Nah, we're not going to recruit those guys. To the ransoming with them. All right, we can get whale oil here for 207. We can sell it there for 354. Keep an eye on all that. I should really bring up a document and start keeping track of trade routes, but we haven't pumped trade at all. Uh-oh, who's that? Somebody's knocking on our door. Ah, flipping Valandians. I hope they don't come over to the peninsula. That will suck. Man, we haven't seen fishermen. Oh my god. Cuculane's gonna get mad at me, but I can't say no to this. They're attacking our people. Alright, so I've got 47. Let's take... I guess we can take some Larrys here. What are you comprised of? Don't know. You better... Oh, he's running away? Oh, ho, 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 none on my watch. After him. Preying on our poor fisherman. Oh, we're not going to catch him. God damn it. Need to get Seamaster going. Or upgrades, one or the other. Haha! Ooh, he wanted to fight me. That's bad. Greetings. We're going to call you Simone. How's it going, Simone? Ahoy. We're simple fishermen. We have no quarrel with you. Yeah, but I have one with you. He tried the same lie we tried on that Battanian lord. Yeah, the one whose wife we attacked. Very sad, very sad. Alright, Double D. Enjoy your lurk, sir. Get your dailies going. It was the Alcoin design you happen to be talking about. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to insinuate one way or the other. I'll probably get one too if I can guarantee it doesn't have lead in it. Alright, we definitely want one of the 16 ones first. Let's see, how many whatchamahoozes do we have? How many archers do we have? Fire at will. So if I had F4. Yeah, hold arrows.
Take them down!
Oh, they're trying to be like strategic or something over there. I found out there's a speed penalty for having more than 3 boats, regardless of your troop size. Oh, so that's kind of like herd, right? So more than 3 boats, speed penalty. So, all right, we'll have to know that. Have you been able to siege a port with your boats? Is that an option? And we're not getting any hits here. Not one kill. Alright, so you gotta get really close. These are pretty rough seas as well, you know? You cannot siege with boats. You can run blockade with boats after they've made a siege camp. Gotcha. That's cool. That's one extra thing you're gonna have to worry about when you're sieging now, I guess, right? Or boats coming to resupply if you're trying to starve them out. That's not usually what I do. I just trebuchet them until their walls are gone, and then I... Yeah, I like how they don't want to come at me. Not that one. The middle boat does, but... Guess the red means he's out of range. It is wild how they're running away from us, like they know what we're trying to do. That's cool. And the little boat doesn't want that. They want the big boat at us. And then the little boat's like, I don't know, get on either side of us or something. Hey, we got a kill. Glory be. You gotta unlock battering rams. I have no idea how to unlock them. And you gotta find like a town that sells a specific upgrade you're looking for. They didn't make it easy. Dude, quit running from me. Goddamn. Furl the sails. I think we got him. We got a fishy.
Stop shooting! Shoot at will!
Nice. Now we got it. These are rough seas. I think if the seas were this rough, man, I would just try to like make friends with these guys. Be like, all right, let's pause. Got him. That's the one I wanted. The high tier guy. All right, can I pick some javelin fill? Oh, we can fill javelins. Glory be to the Empire. Or no, that's a throwing thing. I didn't throw that. I have no idea. Perfect. No quarter for the Craven. Lost a lot of men there. Gotta figure out how to do that without losing all the men. Ugh. I don't want all these non-Marines. No, thank you. Get out of here. Don't want anything to do with you. It's also nice not to have to worry about horses anymore. I mean, other than for traveling speed, but like getting mounts and not wasting them on shitty cavalry and only the good cavalry. Boat combat is the shiznit. I found out. Oop, read that. Boat combat. Yeah, baby. Is that a dancing crazy Santa Claus? Is that what that is? There was an error getting that emote. Okay. I'll go to the browser then. Fine, fine, fine. Can you exit out of that, please? Thank you. Perfect. My boat. Oop, there's an error there too. It must be like one of them weird ones. You cannot siege with boats. You can run a blockade with boats after they've made a siege camp. That is super cool. Where is your battering ram, bro? I haven't got one yet, sadly. It's ridiculous. If you siege a port city before you get the siege camp, 40 boats will pile in and they'll suddenly have 1,200 defenders. So are the boats enemy lords or are they just like reinforcements? Probably enemy lords, right? See, because I bet you cannot command one of the lords in your army to set up a boat blockade, can you? Because that's always been a weakness. Like when if I'm the marshal of a big army, I want to be able to command like 2 or 3 lords to skirmish for me and to catch faster moving smaller bands so I can catch up and then destroy them, right? The game doesn't let you do that. And then in the scenario you're explaining, that's a real bummer. So then getting port cities is going to be a pain in the ass because you can't be in two places at once. You can't have a blockade and sieging. So the player would have to run the blockade when the AI decides to siege a port town. That's probably what will have to happen. Yeah. I mean, these guys are pretty cool on their own, even without veterans respect, right? Chicken Santa Claus. Yeah, I had it. I had it halfway. I couldn't zoom in, though. There's some kind of error. It's enemy lords. It'd be great if you could command them to start a siege and then be on the water to stop the boats. Yeah. Well, I think that maybe that's what I'll do. I'll be the blockade guy. So, like, if I see, you know, the Nords sieging a port, I'll have to just go run blockade. Guess we can take these guys now to man the oars. Ooh. It's not very good, though. It's good for you. Masterwork Warrior Axe, huh? That looks pretty good. 81 cut. That's 80, 86, 95, 62. We'll let you hold on to that. You need a shield, madam. Somebody needs these boots. Alda gets the boots. She's family. She gets third pick. Velvet. It's a little bit of an upgrade. That's a good looking outfit too. The tunic with the leather vest. I like that one. $83 bow. 31 thread. Alright, so you're gonna get a bow, madam, as soon as I remember to get you one. Hey, they gave us some wood. I really like how these guys have horses and stuff now. That's so nice. It's not the ones... We need riding horses. We really need to balance that until we get our scouting up more. Alright, so we got some stuff. Manticore. 32, 54. Black Panther, long ship, medium. Alright, so we're going to keep the Black Panther. We're probably going to sell these guys. Yeah. I think the Black Panther is the same hull as our Sea Witch or whatever it's called. Silver Witch. Is that the same? Yeah, same ship. We're going to take them all right now, though. How do you make your flagship? Is there a way to do that? I don't know. Once the siege camp is up, your ships blockade the port. Oh, that's good. But you're saying, like, in the time that it takes you to set it up, they reinforce the heck out of it. That's good, though, but because that would have been super annoying. If it was the way I was thinking it might have been. Alright, party leader, +4 starting battle morale when attacking, 50% recruitment rate of tier 1, 2, and 3 prisoners, 50% recruitment rate of tier 4 plus prisoners, and then 8 starting battle morale when defending. I always usually go with attacker because 99% of the time I'm attacking. What do you guys go with there? The only downfall is I'd rather a higher recruitment rate with higher tier troops, but honestly, you're getting tier 1 through 3 a lot more often than you're getting tier 4 plus. You only usually get those in fights with lords, you know, all the time. Which we will be getting into, but yeah. And usually if I'm defending, I'm way outnumbered anyway. And the morale's probably not going to help me that much to begin with. Attacking for main character, defending for party leaders, yeah. That's for sure. Well, since I'm going to be pumping int, actually, yeah, I guess I will be pumping int. What is Gendry's? All right, so that guy's only got a 4 in endurance. So Gendry, and he's already level 18. So it's like, I'm never going to get Gendry to Legendary Smith, am I? Probably not. I mean, what is that anyway? 5% greater chance of creating legendary weapons. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff around here. Smithing is way too important. Alright, let's manage the fleet. Alright, let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of Houndfish. Let's repair all. Switch, Black Panther. Black Panther's actually a little bit slower. Ships with shallow drafts travel faster through rivers and coastal seas and slower through open water. So that's where we're getting our butts kicked with the enemy lords, because they usually have, deeper shallows. So if we're running from them, we want to stay in the shallows or the rivers. Because we're probably going to be sticking with these until we get the Drakkar, which is also shallow draft. Square sails provide higher acceleration with moderate top speeds and limited wind coverage. Lateen sails provide low acceleration with higher top speeds and a wider wind coverage. Ships with both sail types have good acceleration, wind coverage, and top speeds. Alright, so we want both. Ships with high seaworthiness take less attrition on open sea. That's just like damage over time, I guess. And can even handle light storms. Nice. Alright, so we have shields. That's crew shield hit points. Not available in settlement. Fixed southern shields. Reinforced southern shields. Alright. So we have light ores. That's good. We can't get that. Linen Sales provides that. Not available. Britannia, Nord. Probably have to get like a certain prestige level or renown level for that. I don't know if I want to upgrade this one. Maybe. We'll think on that. You should finish the repair before selling. Oh, it makes more money? Yeah, you usually have to do the math on whether it's worth it. Kind of like in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was definitely worth it to repair your weapons and armor before selling it. If you had enough repair kits, You made way more money. Was it like that when you had a low mercantile skill or low charisma? I know it was like it when you were maxed. You were definitely making way more. We need to do that on stream. We need to finish that DLC. I just know I'm going to be depressed after we finish it. Because it'll be the end for many, many years. So sad. What do we have there? We've got an returning champion, Techno Tips. Hail and welcome back, Techno Tips. Thank you for that Twitch Prime subscription. We'll call you Alpha Prime for the rest of the evening. Good to see you, man. How are things? What's up with the RAM prices, Techno Tips? Was that your fault? Are you the one that increased the RAM prices from your store in Australia? Tech Cappy was in here the other night. I was confusing him with you for a second. I mean, I know you both very differently. I know one's in Australia and runs a computer store. The other one works in like his family shop. Very nice guy. Good morning to you. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while, for sure. Thanks again for that Prime, brother man. Have you sunk your teeth into Bannerlord yet? With war sales? Alright, let's sell all these guys. Do some trading. Hello, haha, of course. That was definitely me increasing the RAM prices. Yeah, I got my eyes on you, man. Can't trust those from down under. Their morals are upside down. They were founded by prisoners. Believe that? I just learned that there's a wine called it's called like Crime 19. One of my Twitch buddies drinks it. You know, I call him Catcher Freeman. That was his name on Twitch until that channel got banned, and now he's known as something else. Slipping my mind. But anyway, he was drinking this wine that one of his viewers bought him, which I thought was funny. And on it was like a mug shot, but it was like an old-timey mug shot. And turns out it was a mug shot from like the late 1800s. And I was like, well, that's a cool label for a wine. You know, it's called like 19 Crimes. So I Googled this. You know, I'm like, well, why is it called 19 Crimes? Turns out there was a law in, you know, the United Kingdom back then in the late 1800s to where I guess if you've committed like 19 crimes, you know, like they would have to be small crimes because if they were big crimes, they probably already would have executed you by the time you got to 19. But on the 19th time, that's when they send you to Australia as a colonist, you know, force you to go there as a colonist, I guess. But I'm like, 19 seems kind of a lot, but you always hear about people with a rap sheet with like, you know, tens of crimes or even 100 crimes on their record over the years. But I had never heard of that law before, the 19 crime law, until I read that. Haven't touched the new DLC yet. Just need some extra time. Oh, dude, yeah, I wouldn't have bought it either. Luckily, I got gifted it by the Golden Paladin himself because he made a boo-boo with purchasing it. But if it wasn't for that, I was going to wait for a sale, you know, because I heard about the bugs. They've patched this game, you know, with the DLC like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. So they're trying to square it away, which is really cool, though. I was worried about that, if they're going to leave it in the current state or what they were going to do, but turns out we were in good shape. Oh, see, we already doubled our price. A little bit. Wow, man, that crashes the market super fast, doesn't it? I hate that. Wish it didn't crash it quite that quickly. The cool thing is we're getting a balanced diet just from the loot of our enemies. I like that. I could get used to that, not having to buy food. Because the old way, Bannerlord, you'd get a crap ton of like grain and fish, but you would not get all this other groovy stuff. And it makes sense for the Sea Raiders to have all of it, right? Because they're preying on the trade route caravans. So that's good. Yeah, 19 crimes. By the way, Techno Tips, you going to come back to streaming anytime soon? Maybe. Once my boy gets a little older, then it'll be easier. Yeah, that'd be tough with a young boy. And congratulations on having a young boy. Yeah, I can barely remember what you look like. It's been that long since you've streamed, right? I have to go look at a highlight. Do you make videos for like your store? You know, on YouTube or anything like that, or social media? And how's business with the price increase of literally everything? I mean, bananas are getting expensive again. What the hell? They're just bananas. All right, curious smelters. Time to get curious. We want to curious that. Nice. We're trying to unlock the best axe head. All right, that's all my axes, right? Yeah. Practical, curious. I thought I had 2 curious. Oh, you are curious. They need to put this in order. This needs to be in the same order as it is everywhere else. It's confusing. I don't have a steelmaker, huh? Oh, Baylor's a steelmaker. I forgot. Silly me. Silly me. Perfect. Now let's get our homeboy there going with the fine steel. Too bad an even split on that. And then let's do some of that. Perfect. Efficient charcoal maker. Get him on that. And now let's take a peek at this. Alright, we didn't unlock any heads, of course. You never unlock the heads when you want to unlock the heads. Would be nearly 2 years, I think, since I last streamed. Yeah, it had been a year for me until almost 2 weeks ago I came back. I do make videos, but more for website tutorials for the hosting stuff. Gotcha. Business is good. Pricing has hurt, but we will manage. Yeah, right. You just have to raise prices with everybody else. Yeah, that's the real trick. That's the real trick. And if talking business on stream bothers you, I'll stop. I'm just always interested in your business and how well it's doing because I'm interested in PC parts and like the prices and everything. That's a good one. Reach is kind of low, but honestly, 102 reach wouldn't be bad on a boat. What was that other one I was looking at? Oh yeah, that one. So a lot longer, but I lose 10 swing and I gain 10. Okay, we're going to do that one. Nice. Do that one. Nice. Oh, what the fuck? He boffed it. He boffed it. It's probably still going to be better than what I got, but we'll see. That's a shame. More weapon reach, but bad at everything else. Or equal in cut, but I think we're going to stick with what we have and sell that bad boy. Oh, that was the other thing swords were good at, was making money. Or no, it was glaives. Because back then it was like it was all about cut damage. It was all about damage. So the higher the damage, the more it sold for, and the more it would unlock stuff. And then so it was like javelins, right? Because you were selling javelins for like hundreds of thousands. I was buying towns with javelins. That was dinars, orums. These were not the currency of the old Bannerlord. They were javelins. And that's for sure. Haha, now you're sweet. I'm working anyway, but one example is probably just over a month ago. A 64 gigabyte kit of DDR5 was around $300 for us. Same kit now is $1,400. Wow, that's even more than here. Hold, please. Let me Google something. 64 GB DDR5. Let's go to Amazon. Oh my god. So Vengeance, Corsair Vengeance is 758. Crucial 489, but is that 32 or is that 64? Let me check that. Because hell, I'll put a heatsink on it to save that much money. It's going to come down, right? Like, I understand that all the silicon for RAM is going to AI servers and what have you, but that's got to come down, right, at some point. But the problem is once these companies get the greed of this, they never want to go down. It's the same thing that happened with GPUs. Like, once they realized that people were willing to spend this much more for it, then the prices never went down to like a good, like during COVID and stuff, all the prices went up and they never came down because of inflation and all that other stuff. There's just not enough people making this. It's such a difficult thing to do, making these parts. It requires like thousands of people with fucking masters and PhDs and shit to do it. So, man, it needs to come down because there's no way I'm ever paying this much for RAM. To be honest with you, if prices were to stay like this for stuff, I would just go back to like console gaming. But I mean, consoles are going to be over $1,000 the next, like the Steam machine will probably be, I've heard guesstimations between 800 and 1,000. And then the Xbox, the Sony, the whatevers. You know what the future's probably going to be is cloud gaming. We're all just going to have to do cloud gaming because we can't afford this stuff anymore. It's so expensive. But there's a lot of hobbies out there that cost way more than gaming, right? Like, you could be a fisherman spending like $100,000 a year on boating and fishing trips and what have you. If you're spending $100,000 on gaming, you need to get away from those gambling mobile games. You've got yourself a problem. That's insane. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I met Raw through you, Techno Tips, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Techno Tips was good people. Were we playing Bannerlord or Warband? Probably Bannerlord, right? Those were the days. Those were the days. I enjoyed your stream because your stream was all about tech, and it reminded me of the old school tech shows from back before the tech guys got rich, like Lionel, Jay. I still like Jay's channel a lot. He still keeps it very boutique and like small. He's got like one or two assistants or something that are helping him out. I like his. He's probably my favorite now out of the tech guys. Jay's 2 cents, or Tech Jesus guy. What's his name? The Gamers Nexus. I like those guys just because they take no shit and they bust people for their disgusting business practices. So they're my overall favorite. But the guy I casually like to watch the most is Jay's 2 cents right now. Steve, is that the bald guy? Or shaved head guy with the... Yeah, they all have Asian... I was about to say the shaved head guy with the, Asian wife, but they all have Asian wives. Like, every one of them. I don't know if Jay's 2 cents has one, but the other ones do. That's the long hair guy. Yeah, Gamers Nexus is the long hair guy. I like him. Well, I like how they go after, like they go after like NVIDIA. They sit there, like when Intel's CPUs were blowing up, they dove into that. Like they were buying people's CPUs to do tests. And then they were buying the broken ones so they could figure out what the hell was going on. And they were able to like publicly let us all know what was going on with that. That destroyed Intel, by the way. If it wasn't for that bailout that Trump forced NVIDIA to do for Intel was going for bankruptcy. But Intel's not going to be allowed to go bankrupt because that's a national security thing, right? But man, it's wild how you can go from being the top. Like AMD couldn't compete against Intel back in the day. And then now it's like AMD is the go-to company. What is AMD? South Korean? AMD... Well, they're mainly owned by BlackRock, of course, and Vanguard. Those are those. If you don't know, Vanguard and BlackRock are the super corporations that own everything, and including our labor and everything. They're basically like the aliens corporations, Balin Yutani and all that. They've even got evil names: Vanguard, BlackRock. Don't ask questions. Do more labor. You will pay what I tell you to pay. Ugh. So AMD was founded in 1969. Nice. No, I think they're an American company, but it's kind of hard to tell. Because a lot of these companies were founded by immigrants. Which is good. It's cool. Jerry Sanders and a group of technology professionals. The company's early products were primarily memory chips and other components for computers. Yeah, so it's an American company. Cool. I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought they were like South Korean. Definitely wouldn't be North Korean. Significant growth. In the late 2010s, AMD regained market share by pursuing a penetrating pricing strategy. Yeah, their pricing strategy was to wait for NVIDIA to launch something or Intel to launch something and then undercut them by like 10%. That was their strategy. It worked, I guess. Well, what worked was them creating a superior product. Those X3D processors are amazing. Oh, Steve is the Jesus guy? Thanks. Thanks, brother. Works for me. I own Vanguard. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off on a tangent. I don't mind tangents. To be honest with you, if I'm watching a Twitch stream, I am rarely watching gameplay. It's like I'm only watching the gameplay if it's like a PvP thing and I'm trying to get better at PvP in a game. Because I definitely don't watch the story stuff unless I know I'm not going to play the game. You know, like if I don't like the way the game plays, but I want the story. I should probably do that with like Adeptus Mechanicus or something because I want the story, but I don't like turn-based, but I own the game. But anyway, it might bother you guys. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard. You can't please everybody anyway. You can make the best movie of the year, and there's a bunch of nerds on YouTube that make money tearing it down. It's like I followed those nerd channels for a long time, and it's like I had to unfollow so many of them because they went super political. And then they went like super just, I guess their video shitting on something makes a lot more money than videos saying I like something. I'm not into that. That's why I like Red Letter Media. They'll shit on it if it's bad. They'll love it if it's good. And I don't agree with them all the time either, but at least they're honest about it. The other guys, you're like, how honest are you? Like they're already shitting on Supergirl. I'm like, Supergirl looks awesome. Superman was pretty good. It was like an okay movie. It wasn't groundbreaking or anything, but I like that they're heading back to the comic book, you know, world of everything. And I'm hoping Supergirl's, you know, kicks ass. And I like that actress. You know, she was the young princess in House of the Dragon. She did a great job. So I'm hoping she does a great job again. Anyway, gotta get that negativity out of your life. All right, let's go see if we can get married. This is the wrong place for that. Ooh. So we can hold 108 now, right? Because we have 2 medium long ships. So let's grab all of those guys. Nice. And we got money? Yes, we got money. Somebody leveled up something. Trade. Nice. What do we got here? 15% price penalty while selling equipment. Price penalty while selling trade goods. Let's go with equipment, of course. I guess you would... I don't think I've ever chosen trade goods, but I guess you would do trade goods if you were doing like a... You know, your goal was to be a trader. Because you could totally beat this game as a trader. I don't know if you could do it in the timeline that the story wants you to do it. But if you max out trade, you can buy and sell trade settlements. I don't know if they rebalance that because it was oppressively expensive. But if you had a trade empire rolling, I don't know. Because I remember getting to a point to where I was just bankrupting towns. But bankrupting towns, I do believe, crashes the market even further. Because if you just, you know, if you have all this gear and you're selling it and you're bankrupting every town you go to, it does something funky with the economy. I just happened to scroll over the Nord Army on the map 2106. That's a big-ass Nord Army. Are your Nords winning or are they losing? Because they've had to rebalance the Nords a few times because they were underpowered on launch. But like you were saying, it's because they were like missing armor pieces and stuff, you know. Let's go to Kingdom and check out diplomacies. So, whoa, we've only got 8835. They've only got 21. So you guys are getting your asses kicked, huh? That's not good. Landy is kicking ass. Alright, so we're on par with the Northern Empire. Khuzaits are weak. That's nice to see. Man, the Khuzaits, the once mighty Khuzaits, how have they fallen? Hell, man, the Khuzaits would have conquered half the map by now in 2020. Sturgians should be our target, but it seems like the Valandians want a piece of us. Which makes sense story-wise, because Valandia is kind of like, you know, they're trying to like rebuild civilization in their own image. So they would hate the Nords, you know, pillaging and Vikinging across the land. Alright, so we gotta get married now, in case we die. Go to the port. And we like to get married. We like to have babies. It's fun. So we are only 3-6, huh? I don't like that. Now let's head over to Thronder Lag. Alright, let's start appropriately calling these things their right names. I call them that like Thunder Lag. We've won every war since I joined. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, if only the game appreciated your main characterness. That's a tough thing to balance when it comes to a story of a game, is like how powerful the character, you know, the main character can be, you know, your character, versus how they're treated in the world. MMOs, it's impossible, because you know how MMOs, you're like fighting to save the world and you basically beat God. And then you walk into town and everybody's just treating you like a soldier or something. Single player games, it's a little easier to do that, but reinforced northern shields. I have stout northern shields. Reinforced gives me 50%. That's quite a bit. How much money do I have? Kind of want that. What else can I get? Excellent at protecting the ship against the elements, and stores a small amount of additional cargo. That's really good. I really want that. Oh, we got another ad. Alright, boys and girls, we're going to play 3 minutes of ads so we don't get pre-rolls and all that horse crap. They're going to play an ad anyway, so I might as well do it now. Alright, I will see you cats in 3 minutes. And we're back. I'm all out of chai tea, man. Had to switch over to green tea. I ordered some, though. It's been like 30 bucks on tea. Hopefully it'll last me a while. I was drinking 2 bags at a time. I think I'm addicted to AI playlists. I need to quit that. And the ads just ended correct. Nice. I timed that so well. I impressed myself. I forgot to say as well, hope you have been treating you as well. I forgot to say as well, hope you and yours has been treating you well. Yeah, I've been doing okay, man. You know, real life last year, ups and downs and all that. But luckily I'm getting into the Christmas spirit now, and I haven't been in the Christmas spirit in quite a few years. Kind of had an up cycle. Hopefully it'll last until after Christmas. It better last. It would suck if I crashed before Christmas. But, you know, I decorated outside. Haven't done that in a long time. Got the tree up. Found a bunch of old ornaments from like my childhood. I broke a vintage ornament because the damn clamp came loose as I was tying a hook to it. It wasn't my fault, but what are you going to do? I feel guilty. I love vintage ornaments, the thin metal ones. I don't even know if you'd call them metal, but they're super thin and very lightweight. But man, they are beautiful. Yeah, it happens, dude. I type like a madman sometimes. But yeah, how about you? Have you and your family gotten into the Christmas spirit? I don't know if I've congratulated you on having the baby, but I feel like I've done that. But congratulations on the new kid. I miss Christmas with little kids. All of ours are grown up now. Not mine personal, but like nieces and nephews. They're all adults technically now. Very sad. Do you know how to unlock the Rams? Don't tell me. I'll figure it out. So why is this one not fast? Is it because of sales or something? Ores, probably? Yeah, it's probably ores. Yeah. 7 grand, huh? That's probably kind of worth it. Nice. Just says 6%. Yeah, that's what was doing it. Nice. Just find them randomly by fighting people in the water. Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it. Can you take them off of a ship and put them on another ship? Can't change the colors of the sails, can you? That'll probably be a future thing. Alright, Jarminja. How's it going?
Peace to you.
Peace to you. It's like I've got Warband mind on. I feel the need to talk to NPCs when you don't have to talk to them anymore. Why are you friends with her? That's a weird friend to have. Guess she's got pen pals. Right, you're 34, so you're not married. You got terrible skills, though. That's why you're not married. Actually, those skills wouldn't have been bad before, but now it's like they buffed all the NPCs. Yeah, you would have done. He's just over 2. Yeah, that sounds about right. 2 is a fun age, but it is a exacting age. They will wear you out at that age. What was the name of that lady love that we liked? Was it this one? 24, not married, not good skills. What's this clan? What it? I think I made a mistake somewhere. No, it's definitely this clan. Wasn't you. Was not you. Maybe she got married? I don't know. Or maybe she died. Did she die? No. That would suck. Not you. Maybe it was this clan. Was it you? Yes. No. It wasn't her, but she'd be a good choice. So, a Grinja. Or no, she's 46. What the fuck? She's married, right? No. Oh, is it your daughter? No. It was, oh, you know what? It was the clan that was run by a lady. A woman was running the clan. So it must be you guys. Yep, this is it right here. Your daughter, Alphajija. Beautiful name. Rolls off the tongue. All right, let's go marry Alphajija. That's what we're going to go do. They're on the Sturgeon Peninsula as well, so that'll give us terrible twos, as they say. Oh, yeah. I've heard stories, usually on podcasts. You know, I used to listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, and like Tom Segura was is a comedian, and I've listened to all of his stories. You know, I think his kids are probably like, I don't know, 7 and 9 now or whatever, but I've been listening to his stories about them from the age of 0. And his kids are gnarly, because you can tell that he and his wife, they're now rich, like super rich, so they spoil the shit out of their kids, and they think it's funny that they cuss and stuff. You know, like, I don't agree with any of that, but that's what they do. But he tells stories about how he'll come home and like a toilet is just broken in half. And all just, you know, all types of stories about that kind of stuff. One of the worst I ever saw was on a... I guess the boy was autistic, you know, so it wasn't like a normal story, but this poor family, I guess to punish the boy for something, took away his handheld gaming system. And they were gone, and he was at home alone, and he just destroyed their apartment. I mean, we're talking like the countertops were broken, you know. It was just... And it was just the poor mother crying in the living room, you know, showing the damage. And it's like, I don't even know how you would insure that. Like, would insurance even pay for that? Like, holy shit. I feel so bad for parents like that. Because that's tough, man. You love the kid, but it's like the kid's got issues and you just have to roll with it. Yeah, green tea's okay, man, but I much prefer the black tea, especially like spiced tea. This just kind of tastes like the remnants of whatever liquid was in this before you put water in. Which is what tea is, if you think about it. It's just polluted water. Did you know sugar soda is 90% water, but diet soda is 99% water? Something to think about. I think raw sewage is like 98% water. Doesn't mean I want to drink it. What is raw sewage percentage? I think I've heard like 98%. Raw sewage. Yeah, raw sewage is 99.9% water. It's good stuff. But that 0.1%, that's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Sure is. Guess that's how they're able to recycle it so easily at the in the ISS and on nuclear submarines. Submarines, I think they just use seawater, don't they? I think they do. Bannerlord the Fifth's associates captured by bounty hunters, huh? Might do that. I don't think we've done one mission so far. Not much of missions in this game. Why the hell is she in Dagby? I guess recruiting? Whoa, does that mean that lords and ladies only want to recruit their culture? Is that what's going on there? Because that would be a huge deal if you wanted to expand and all your lords are running back home to recruit. That's kind of crazy that she went all the way over here to recruit. Or whatever she's doing. That's one big improvement over Warband, is how when you get a walled fief, you automatically get all the villages. Because I dislike that about Warband, how you'd have a lord that owned the town, but like 2 other lords would own the villages, but then their main base would be across the map. But they were still going to those villages to check up on them for whatever reason. So it made it to where your forces were always scattered. Like, I just did a full Gecko Kuyo map conquer just to do it. And, my lords were useless. Like, if I wasn't being a marshal, they weren't doing anything good. Even though I had all the power. Last half of that map was a nightmare. Not a nightmare that it was hard, it was just boring. It was just F1, F3, go watch TV, come back. F1, F3, go watch TV, come back. Yeah, I don't enjoy... Yeah, they don't have a proper Warhammer, which is odd. I mean, I know this is like 10th century, but they had Warhammers in the 10th century. I've seen Warhammers made of bronze from like ancient times. Not one Warhammer. I mean, the closest you got is the mallet, which was my favorite weapon with the Cheese Lord. Ah, I miss Stinky Cheese. That was a fun playthrough. Stinky Cheese and his merry band of fiends. It's a good time. It's a good time. All right, we're caught up. I don't want this one for the speed. And it looks cool. What do I need? I need an iron. Oh, we need wood. My bad. Alright, copy that. Ooh, that's expensive. Just buy a couple of those. Oh, he boffed it again. Gosh, dug it. Boffed. One more. Nope, can't do one more. What am I missing? More wood. Yeah, whatever. Let's see what's the value of that thing. It's not good. It's terrible. Just sell it. Be done with it. Get that garbage out of my fucking sight. There's a lot of clan members. Why are they all here? Why are all these hand clan members here? What are y'all? Skillfling. I'm gonna call them Skyfling. That sounds cooler. Why don't you guys like me? I like your banner. You should like me. Alright, no reason to speak with the daughter, because we don't have enough charm to seduce her that way. We just need to talk to the mother. Oh, we want... Do we want ore power? Force with each pull improving. Okay, so that's maneuverability. This is speed. So we've got max speed, but not maneuverability. That's why we're having such a tough time, I guess, coming around to hook those raiders. Not available. Not available. Find home weapons and tools. Melee damage plus 10%. Price 1,000. I have that one though. we'll hold off. Alright, where are we heading? Some village over here. Dagby, right? It was Dagby. You know, it's probably smarter to cross to get to the shallows as quickly as possible and then turn into it, right? Try to avoid that storm. A marriage offer for Alda, huh? The hell? Alda's got terrible skills. This guy must be hard up. Do you get anything for selling daughters? Or not selling? That's such a horrible way. Do you get anything for setting up a love match for your daughters? I don't think so. You get a +10 with this guy, but who gives a shit? Does it make, like, you know, politics with their faction any easier? Or... yeah, this isn't Crusader Kings. I don't think it really does much of anything. It doesn't even allow me to, like, say, give me money or something. It's just like, Alda will join Comnos. Now, story-wise, I think she might live a better life there, hopefully. I don't know. And then she could write us letters telling us what's going on with the Empire. I don't know. Let's see. I can't remember ever marrying off my siblings or what happened. Our culture spreads. This really does remind me of the old school Sid Meier's games. Did you guys ever play those? I love Sid Meier's Pirates. I played the heck out of that on the 360? Yeah, 360 maybe. Alright. Love a good marriage. Love a good baby. Yeah, relations, all they gave us, no money or anything. Does this storm just always stay here? So technically I should probably go around this, right? I don't know, let's do some testing. Let's see how much damage it actually does. It's doing quite a bit. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Alright, avoid storms at all costs. Note taken. Note taken. Oh, she probably joined Grika's army. That's probably what happened there. Oof, that was expensive. Expensive. Okay, let's try that again, dude. Ah, you buffed it again, didn't you? It's always the damage. Why isn't it something else? Like, well, everything's bad, but whatever. This guy, this guy. Do I have any other steel makers? No, I don't think so. Ooh, a pommel. Another pommel. Glory be. Glory be. I'm really excited about unlocking all these pommels. This is one of those games where you always feel like you're missing something. No, thank you. Ooh, what do we have here? She looks imperial. She's pregnant. Who did you marry? Alright, so you married that guy. That's cool. I love seeing that. I love seeing like how other NPC stories unfold, like who's marrying who and all that kind of stuff. I could probably really get into Crusader Kings if I ever sat down and learned how to play that damn thing. Last seen of Dagby, huh? I don't think she would still be there, though. We'll check. Alright, she might be in Grika's army. What do we have here? How's it going, Sebastian? Does that look like a fisherman to you guys? What does a fisherman need with all this mail? Alright, let's go and attack them. Alright, let's do that. Alright, we're gonna have you do that and then ready. Select shipped. How do I order you around again? Black Panther move. Skirmish move.
Hear me!
Move, follow me, skirmish, engage, stop. I'm just saying engage. I don't want to micromanage them. Alright, now they're coming, they're coming. You know, I think agility is more important. Yeah, because now they're going to get slaughtered while we make our way around. That was a tactical blunder on my part. Smart on their part to attack them, the weaker boat, I guess. And then my guy was just following orders to engage, so he wasn't being smart. I didn't even give them a captain, did I? Whoa, that is not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I need a better axe. This one's too slow. A hard-won fight, man. Jeez. Let's see, Marauder or let's see, Berserker. What do you guys do for a living? Javelins. Javelins, no shield. What does that give me, though? Battle axe. Alright, so these are the two-handed wild man. But, man, javelins are so gosh dog deadly. I feel like a shield is kind of a must, right? You would think the Berserker would be this guy, and then this guy would be this guy. What's that name? I don't know what Scald Bristier or Breast... Scald Bristier, I don't know what that means, but you would think Berserker would be the two-handed crazy man without a shield. The picture is Javs, but they have... Oh, this guy you mean? Yeah, throwing axe. Throwing axes do a lot of damage, but they're so slow. And we're going Berserker on that, so we want... Oh yeah, Shield Biter. Remember that Shield Biter in that tournament? Dude was like hitting bullseye after bullseye. What do you use? Do you use any of the Scald Bristiers, or do you stick with the Berserkers? I like Berserkers. Yeah, Shield Biter. Shield Biter or GTFO, yo. Let's see, Huntsman. Yeah, we want Sky Gods. All the Sky Gods. Now, the cool thing about the Sky Gods, they have a shield, but that means that they get one less stack of arrows. And I always felt like the Fiends, you know, even without a shield, but with the 2 stacks of arrows, and they can engage with their 2-handed swords, I still think they're going to be the superior ranged unit overall. Actually, it would be the damn Khan's Guard or whatever. Those guys are badass. Yeah, probably Khan's Guard. I would like to see... You know what I've never done? I've never done a custom battle in this. I used to do custom battles in Warband all the time when I was learning how to play it. And so I, especially with mods, you know, as long as the custom battles was working in the mod, I would pit. That's how I found out that, like, in a World of Ice and Fire, the Dragonstone had better infantry than the Stormlands, because that's kind of like the quintessential war between those two guys, especially at the beginning. And it was always a fun war to be a part. I love fighting in that war. That ACOG, it was good too, but World of Ice and Fire, that war was great. Most fun early game for sure. Mainly the Huskarls and the Sky Chosen. I don't know what's best between the others. Probably Berserkers. Yeah, I think Berserkers. The only reason I had that choice is because I recruited them at a higher tier, so I wasn't able to turn them into Sky Gods. That's actually pretty good. Let's see, I lose 7 chests, but I gain the leg. Let's give that to you. '83 bow. Throwing's 31, huh? Yeah, I'll just give you this for now. Get you a bow whenever I think about it. This poor guy is hurting. Yeah, I still just prefer javelins. I like that they gave axes a big old damage buff. I don't remember axes doing that much more damage, but 102.59. Yeah, you can have your sword. You need a helmet, brother. Yeah, I got one for you. There you go. There you go. Don't say I never gave you anything. Oh yeah, you look like a proper Nord now. What culture are you anyway? I don't think he's Nord. He's something else. That's good. Ooh, you need some help. All right. You're sticking with a sling. I like slings. So they're saying that the other two boats were too damaged to salvage, I guess, is what happened there. Because we did ram one by accident, but what are you going to do? I think that's what happened. We're going to sell it anyway. We're going to try to stick with the medium-long ships until we can get a Drakkar. Negative 30% to the cost of ship upgrades. That's really good. Negative 30% to repair costs. Okay. I think repair costs would add up to more over a playthrough. Yeah, I feel like repair costs. They take a set amount of damage after the battle, so it often puts boats below the capture threshold. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the most expensive ship upgrade I saw was $5,000. And we're constantly having to repair the ship. Now, there's probably perks and stuff that, you know, lower that, but I think I'm going to go with ship cost or repair costs. Seems like a better deal. Don't attack me, bro. Man, did we really lose that many men there? Jesus. We need we need a doctor. Goddamn. Yeah, I forgot. We have suck doctor skills, don't we? That's personal. Stationary on a campaign map. I'm never stationary. Alright, she chose the bad ones. None of these are going to help me, actually, so... I need to re-educate her on medicine, I think. Howdy, how's it going?
Stay close!
Oh, that hurt. It's slow, but when it hits, it hits. The boat repair is the better option money-wise. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Is boatswain XP from repairs is tied to cost, though? That's the only question. It would suck if it was, though. Should just be the percentage of repair, right? Not the cost. You never know what game developers will hit the balance. You know, there's always weird, funny balances in games that's not intuitive at all. You know, real world logic and game balance are two different things. All right. I keep forgetting that lady's name. Stupid name. Asgatha. We can remember that. Asgatha. As Nord names go, that's a good one. Oh, I can't talk to them, huh? Damage with two-handed axes and maces. Yeah, let's go with... Or I do like swing speed. 3%'s not a lot, but... Yeah, go with damage. Can I join your army from here? So that's what they're saying. So, like, if you're not a part of the army when they start to siege, you're not allowed to loot. That's odd, right? Yeah, we can't talk to her. So that tells you how many boats they have, right? 4 boats. And then you said you can only field 3. So like your 4th boat's just kind of cargo and reinforcements or whatever. I was worried they were going to take our mount away in sieges. A lot of damage. No, we're actually getting lower frames here. Not even that many people. Really miss my dragon right now. Sieges were a ton of fun with a dragon. Kicking our ass. Need wood for the Christmas tree. That'll take a while. Alright, boys, get on that. I softened it up for you. Oop, friendly fire. My bad. Get in there, berserkers. Berserker barrage. Ouch. Gotta love the cleave. You get better armor. Oh, wait a minute. They got body sliding now, right? How do I do that? How do you body slide? This is one of the greatest things about Bannerlord is that fast forward button, man. You turned up just in time, Baylor. +5. God damn. Got low charm. Oops. Don't want all that. Perfect. Yeah, we got loot. Thanks you for helping out on the siege. You were able to loot your fallen foes, but you do not participate in the sack of the castle as you're not a part of the army. That is stupid. It's actually dumb to join the army because it's better for you to be separate so you can like skirmish with the smaller lords that are always hovering around. I was being tactically sound, but punished for it.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. I would like to discuss marriage. My own hand. Yes. Wait, that's the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Alphaya. Yeah, that one. Very good. Ooh, what do you want? Jesus, lady. That is a ton of money, like... That means that she wants, like... Fuck, I don't know, 40,000 or something? Eh. Cancel that. Kick rocks, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, I get it. She's pretty awesome and everything, but... Was she even in this army? Call her Alf. Where's Alf? Our Lady Love. She's not here. Well, that was a waste of time, effort. We got skills, though. That's what matters. It's an RTS option. I think you need it. No, when I first started playing this game, there was like a body slide option. They introduced it in Bannerlord, I believe, with War Sales. Because a lot of the things that they added were just mods. And I guess they just squared the mod away to fit. You know. I mean, think about Bannerlord compared to Warband. A lot of what they implemented were in the mods for Warband. I do like the ship combat, though. It's vastly improved. I need to look up if any of the VC devs were involved with War Sales, because I know they hired some of them. I don't know what country they were from or whatever, or if they had to move to Turkey, or if they could do it remotely or whatever. Because, like, if I was a modder and I had the ability to work with one of my favorite companies, I'd be like, yeah, but I wouldn't want to live in Turkey. I mean, maybe Istanbul. You can always tell a history fan, because when they talk about Istanbul, they always want to say Constantinople. Istanbul to Constantinople. Istanbul to Constantinople. Well, that was a waste of time, money, and blood. All right, let's heal up a little bit. Haunted Dreams. Ooh. Even had a little musical ring there. You lie down for a well-deserved nap, but you slip into an uneasy dream. You're sailing on a wind-tossed sea. A wave crashes on your bow, sending spray across the decks. You look closely and see that it is not water, but blood sloshing around across your feet. You stare out into the sea, and the breakers take on the forms of men you have slain in battle. I would be that guy. Like like hunting in my youth, I remember every animal I've ever killed. And I don't like that. Well, maybe not everyone, who knows? I don't really remember the fish or anything like that. But I would be that person, man. Even if it was good kills. Like that hero in Australia today. I don't think he killed anybody. But even if there was a situation like that and I had to kill a man or whatever, it would probably haunt my dreams. I have killed without good reason. Heaven wishes me to repent. I shall choose the peaceful path when there is one. That is. Increases reputation for being compassionate. Increases reputation for being impulsive. To where do we sail in the sea of blood? To glory. That is where. Daring, impulsiveness. Dreams are but a temporary madness. Heaven does not speak to us in this way. Increases reputation for being calculating. I do like this response. Have I killed without good reason? I've had good reason every time, just about. I haven't preyed on the weak. Yeah, we're going with that one. I never get the honor 2 or generosity. I never get 2. I'm lucky to keep these that you get at the beginning. Usually I lose them one way or the other. I try to be good. Try to be a good guy. I'm missing one. I'm missing the 4th one. Merciful, honest. Oh, I'm missing daring. Is daring good or bad? I don't know. Could be both. Depends on the situation. She definitely thinks highly of herself. Let's go ahead and give Death Dealer that hydrate. There you go, brother. Just for you. A little H2O. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. Building blocks of life. That it is. That it is. All right. We have got a guy doing his first playthrough.
Is anybody standing out? Nobody, dude.
Let's go ahead and raid this guy. I gotta take off. I gotta do some sleeping tonight because I got stuff to do on a Monday morning. It has been a joy and a pleasure to go to war with you folks in chat. Thanks again for that resubscription, Techno Tips. Glad to see you. Happy you're doing well out there. Cuckulane, Double D. Love you both long time. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm doing my thing. And now we shall raid this man that we don't know, but we will. Raid channel. It's his first playthrough, so if you guys want to hang out with him and give him some tips, that's always cool, I guess. But if not, I understand. Sweet dreams and all that. Now we get to count down. 9, 8, 7, 6,
Real close. Zodiac is
5,
within a year. Roses within a
4,
year.
3.
You still got
2.
a few years.
I feel
Your
like it's
mouth is
counting down
weird.
all slow. It's weird.
I gotta be
All right,
honest,
take
I
care,
hope you grow
everybody.
out of that. I hope you grow out of that. Wow.